What's up, kids? Here, English teacher David, one more time for another lesson. And in today's class, we are going to learn about feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions. So first, I am going to explain to you some vocabulary that is important for this lesson. After that, I'll give you an example, and then we're going to see this example in more detail, and we're going to see the differences between some sentences that are important in the lesson. So first, let's get started with the vocabulary. I'm going to show you the vocabulary. Here we have the words that we're going to learn. Those are the words. But at the same time, I'll try to show you some emojis during this video where you can see these emotions reflected, right? So let's start. First, here in this part, we have some vocabulary which is related to feelings and emotions, and then we have an arrow that leads to one of the actions that usually we do when we have this emotion or when we have this feeling, right? Now, for example, when you're sick, like the coronavirus, yes? Now, when you're sick and you don't feel really well, you go to the doctor, yes? So, if I am feeling sick, yes? If in this moment I feel terrible, well, I go to the doctor, yes? If I feel sick, I go to the doctor, right? That is number one. Number two is hungry, yes? Pay attention to the pronunciation. Hungry. So when you feel hungry, yes, I am hungry, right? When you feel hungry, in that moment, what you do is you eat. That's the action that you do when you feel hungry. So I eat when I'm hungry, probably a hamburger, probably an empanadita or a tamal. Yes, I eat something. Now, when you're feeling sad, I'm sad. What do you do when you feel sad? Well, you cry. You cry, right? That's what you do when you feel sad, or at least that's what people do when they feel sad. Happy. Yes, I'm happy. Right now, in this moment, I'm happy. And what do we do when we're happy? We smile. Yes, look at those beautiful teeth. Yes, we smile when we're happy, right? Now, thirsty. We have the word thirsty. Careful with the pronunciation. Thirsty is, for example, when it's a hot day. Yes, it's a really hot day, and you feel like my throat is a little bit dry. Yes, my throat is dry, so I drink water because I am thirsty. Yeah, so when I am thirsty, when I feel thirsty, yes, I feel thirsty, I drink water, right? Now, then we have the word hot. Yes, this moment when, for example, it's 30 degrees outside, and you have a super jacket on you, right? You feel, oh my gosh, I'm so hot in this moment. So you say hot, you're feeling hot because you start perspiring. Yes, you perspire. Drips of perspire, yes, go all over your face. Yes, you start dripping. Yes, perspire. Yes, or sweat. It's another word. But in the vocabulary from the book, we have the word perspire. So when you're hot, yes, you perspire. Good. Now then we have cold. Like right now the weather is super cold. So when you're cold, you start shivering, right? So you shiver when it's cold. Then we have tired. I'm tired. I'm super tired. Oh. I bet you yawned, right? So when you're tired, you yawn. Yes, it's contagious. So this moment, you yawn when you're tired. Or sometimes when you're hungry, yes, sometimes you yawn as well. Or when you're sleepy. Now we have angry. The teacher gets angry when students don't do the homework, right? So angry, or your mother or your father gets angry, yes, when for example you do something bad at home, you break a window or something, so they get mad at you, they get angry, and they say, do the homework. So they shout. Yes, shout is but with rage, like super furious. That is to shout, right? Now, nervous. Imagine that you have a presentation tomorrow. So you feel, I'm nervous. You are nervous, right? So when people are nervous, usually, not all the cases, but usually they bite their nails. Yes, I'm nervous, I have an exam tomorrow. People bite their nails. Personally, I don't bite my nails. Yes, when I am nervous, I start walking back and forth. Yes, that's personally what I do. Other people bite their nails. Yes, and we have scared. Yes, when you watch a horror movie, yes, a terrible horror movie, like for example Annabelle or something, it's scary. You are scared. You are like, oh my gosh, that's so scary, right? So when you watch a horror movie, you feel scared, and sometimes people scream like ah, scream. But some other people cover their eyes. They cover their eyes. Yes, and finally we have embarrassed. Yes, embarrassed. It's a word that we use when, for example, you go in front of a public. Yes, you have to speak in public, and you feel like, I don't want to speak in public. I am embarrassed, and you blush. Yes, you generally blush when you feel embarrassed. Yes, or probably you feel that you tripped and oh my gosh, in front of many people, and you feel embarrassed. So this is the first part of the video. Yes, understanding the vocabulary. Let's remember the pronunciation of the words, because the pronunciation of these words are important. So we have sick, go to the doctor. You go to the doctor. Hungry, eat. When you're sad, you cry. When you're happy, you smile. When you're thirsty, you drink. Thirsty. Thirsty. That's important. The pronunciation of that word is a little difficult, so remember. Thirsty. And this one is happy. Happy. Yes, you have to smile. Happy. Don't say happy. You say happy, right? Then we have hot. Yes, you say hot. And you say perspire. Perspire. Then we have cold. You say shiver. Cold, shiver. Then we say tired. Yes, tired. And the pronunciation of this one is yawn. Yawn. Then we have angry. This is different from this. This one is hungry. And this one is angry. So we have hungry and we have angry. Totally different pronunciations. So when you're angry, you shout, wow. When you're hungry, you eat. We have nervous. You don't say nervous, you say nervous. And you bite your nails. Okay? Scared. And we have scream or cover your eyes. Yes. And we have embarrassed. Don't say embarrassed. That doesn't exist. You say embarrassed. You gotta be careful with the pronunciation because it's important. Okay, guys? So that's basically the vocabulary. That wraps it up for today, or for this lesson. And now I'm going to show you a little example of a conversation between two people. Okay? So here we go. What's the matter, Billy? Why are you crying? I'm crying because I'm sad. I always cry when I am sad. Okay, enough of that. Now pay attention because we have this little conversation but very important because it has two types of sentences. The first type of sentence is present continuous, actions that are in progress in this moment. And the second sentence is usual activities, habitual activities, things that we do with certain frequency. Now pay attention because we have the first question is, why are you crying? Yes, why are you crying? What is the reason that made you cry? Yes, why are you crying? And we have the answer, which is, I'm crying because I'm sad. I always cry when I'm sad. Now, pay attention because the question here, yes, this question is in present continuous. It's an action that is happening in this moment, that is in progress right now. But it's a question, right? So in this case, we have the verb to be, yes. Why are you crying? Yes, and it's important the ing because the ing indicates that the action is in progress. So for example, if I say I'm jumping, it means that I am doing the action in this moment. If I say I'm writing, it indicates that it's an action that I'm doing in this moment. Of course, there are different types of words that we can use in the present continuous and different examples. But basically, that's the idea. To express an action that is in progress in this moment. So if Billy is crying in this moment, well, it's an action that I'm doing right now. So I'm crying. Now, the answer is, I'm crying because I'm sad. I always cry when I am sad. Now, pay attention to the first part of the sentence because it's, I am crying because I'm sad. I always cry when I'm sad. Now, the first part of the sentence is in present continuous. It's an action in progress because it involves the ing and the verb to be. So I say, I am crying because I'm sad. Yes? I'm crying. What is the reason? Because I'm sad. I always cry when I'm sad. Now, this is a frequency of action. It's an activity that I always do when I'm feeling sad, right? So I say, I always cry when I'm sad. Always. It means 100% of the times I feel sad, I start crying, right? I cry. But the second sentence is it's a frequency of action. It means that it's in the present simple form. It's almost like when we're talking about routines. That's it. So I'm going to go more into detail in this sentence because it's a little important. So give me a second. I'm going to organize the conversation. I'm going to organize basically this sentence, and I'm going to show you how to properly answer the exercises that you have in the guides. Okay? So here we go. Now pay attention to the first part of the sentence. Yes, I always cry when I'm sad. But obviously, when we talk about different subjects, it's important to understand how we use them, yes, and how to use them, right? Here we have the first part. I am crying because I forgot the word, because I am sad. Yes, that is the first part of the sentence. Sorry, I think I crossed them out. So I say, I am crying because I am sad. Yes. Notice that every single subject has a different verb to be. And because they have a different verb to be, now the sentences can change a little bit depending on the subject that you're using. So I say, I am crying with the ing, important. I am crying because I am sad. Or I am drinking because I'm thirsty. Or I am sleeping because I am tired. Or I am perspiring because I am hot. Yes? Remember the vocabulary? With that vocabulary, we're going to do these exercises. So I am crying because I am sad. But when you say you, it's different. So I say you are crying because you are sad. You see? We are crying because we are sad. So we are crying because we are sad. They are crying because they are sad. Very easy. Now, he is crying because he is sad. No more. She is crying because she is sad. Very easy. It is crying because it is sad. Now, when you say it, we refer probably to a dog. But I don't know, dogs don't cry, or probably we don't see when they cry. But you can say the dog is crying because the dog is sad, or because he is sad, or she. Now, something important here is that we have to remember that we can change the subjects with personal pronouns. Now, in this case, let's say Juanito and Camila. Juanito and Camila is plural, and we're talking about they. In this case, I say they are crying because they are sad. Now, let's talk about, I don't know, in the case of he's a man, but we can use a personal pronoun such as Daniel. So I say, he is crying because he is sad, or Daniel is crying because he is sad. Or he or she, we can use a personal pronoun such as, I don't know, Nicole. So I say, Nicole is crying because she is sad. It's not necessary to say Nicole is crying because Nicole is sad, because it's not necessary to repeat the name of the person. Only the first time. You say, Nicole is crying because she's sad. Now remember that we can replace these personal pronouns with we can replace these subject pronouns with personal pronouns. Yes, it means with proper names. Good. That is the first part of the sentence. Now let's go over to the second part of the sentence, which is also important. Okay, so here we go. Now here we are in the second part of the sentence. So I created this example for you, or I try to put it in small words for you. Now the first part is let's remember, I am crying because I'm sad. Now the second part of the sentence is, I always cry when I am sad. Yes? Very easy. Now, something important here is that here is not necessary to use the verb to be. It's not necessary to use the verb to be because we are talking about a sentence in present simple. And you're talking about frequency of activities. And if you remember frequency of activities, in a positive sentence, we don't use the verb to be. So I say, I always cry when I am sad. In this case, I use the verb to be because this is an adjective. And when you use an adjective, it's a description, yes, of your emotional state. So you have to use the verb to be. For example, you say, I am sad, she is sad, they are sad, etc. Now, you always cry when you are sad. We always cry when we are sad. They always cry when they are sad, etc., etc. And the second part here with the third person is a little different, but just a little different, because we have to take into account something very important, and it's the S in the verb that I've already previously mentioned it in other examples. So it's like, he always cries. Notice that the word cry changed with an E and S and an S. It happens because this is a consonant and this is a consonant. So when we have double consonant at the end of a word, it's necessary that we change the Y with an IES. Actually, I think that I'm going to use here IES. Yes, but only in those cases. When it finishes in Y and the previous word, the previous letter, sorry, it's a consonant. So in this case, you have to change the Y with an IE and put the S in the third person. Yes? In first person it's not necessary. In third person it is necessary. So he always cries when he is sad. Easy. She always cries when she is sad. Yes? In this case we say, Probably Juana always cries when she is sad, because it's a girl. And because it's a man here, I say Pepito always cries when he is sad. And if it's a dog, you say my dog always cries when he is sad. Yes, or it is sad. Now, I put here these two examples because they are different from the word cry. Yes? The composition of these words is different. So in this case, I say eats and drinks. It's not necessary to change any other thing from the word. The only thing that you have to put is an S, and that's it. So I say, he always eats when he is hungry. Obviously, the word changes. The whole sentence, the whole context of the sentence changes, right? And that's pretty much it for this lesson. I hope you understand. I hope the topic was clear. If not, please remember, you can always text me, you can always call me, and I'll be glad to help you, right? I can give you a lesson if it's necessary. So that wraps it up for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and remember, if you have questions, you can always ask me. That was all for today. See you in the next lesson. Bye.